Winter is coming. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Rich. In this November update, we have a new arrival to the channel courtesy of FTX, and it's the Apache trophy truck. It's had a bit of an upgrade with a few mods including lights and fresh decals. We're also going to have an update on the Porsche 935 project, which is now complete. And I'll also be unveiling the next project, which involves a Beetle. So with winter on its way in the UK, I was looking for something that's going to be able to take a real beating. And this is it, the FTX Apache trophy truck, 99% ready to run. E-tronics and Hobbywing electronics, full metal diffs, and 3S LiPo. It certainly is 99% ready to run. There's a whole host of things in here. Comes supplied with a 3S LiPo battery in a fireproof case. Also a bag of accessories, including a brown paper bag which looks like a cheeseburger. Oh no, it's a charger. Never mind. You also get a comprehensive instruction book which includes exploded diagrams for doing repairs and also some really useful information on programming the ESC. E-tronics controller, which is more than good enough for purpose. 4 channels, so you can switch the lights on and off. I've used one of these on a previous model and it's a really good piece of kit. The first thing you notice is the sheer size of this thing. I know it's 1/10, but it is a truck, not a car, but still it's absolutely massive. It really is an awesome piece of kit, and you can see the scale of it here next to the BBX, and it just dwarfs it. My BBX runs with the same e-tronics electronics, including the same brushless motor, running on a 2S LiPo, and it's not slow. So let's have a closer look. Aluminium shocks, oil filled with coilover, front and back, and it's very plush. 2 gearboxes are metal gears. You can hear it, and they're mounted on 2 metal plates for strength. They're not really bash guards, that's plastic, but this obviously protects the main drive gear. The motor is an e-tronics, but on closer inspection it's a 2.9 kilovolt, which is good. It's also got a cover for the spur gear, and then inside there with the spring and the nut, that's an adjuster for the slipper clutch. The main prop shaft has got a hard plastic cover to it. Servo has a hole to let stones out. It's an e-tronics servo, but it's only 6 kilograms, so we might switch that out for a stronger one. ESC courtesy of Hobbywing with a cooling fan on the top, Dean's connector, and straps for the battery. The chassis is pretty tough, and then the front and rear plastics are really sinewy. Let's give a bit of give. And then finally the receiver is in this waterproof box here with just 2 clips, and there is an extra port there to run a wire to a winch on the front or lights or anything like that. All in all, a really solid piece of kit for the money. Toolkit is a bit rubbish, just a couple of hex keys and no hex tool. Not in my kit anyway. full bearings throughout, and also the 12mm hexes in the wheels and metal, which is a nice touch. I think this is a really cool looking truck. It's got some venting front and back, and it's got some reinforcements to the key parts, which is good, and a cable for the lights. Got the LED light bar that comes with it, but no other lights, so we might add some more. The roof rails are a great bit of crash protection, and the body posts protrude through these hard pieces of plastic, which protects the shell from the pins. Really like that. That's obviously not licensed because you've got Master Power, which is obviously supposed to be Monster Energy, and you've got M&N, which is supposed to be K&N filters. So it all looks a little bit like shopping in Aldi, where you think you've got the branded thing but you haven't. So I think at some point we need to have a re-decal just to finish it off. And it wouldn't be my channel, would it, if we didn't do some custom detail. So another quick shop on eBay, and that sorts that out. These are quality decals. Details I'll put in the description. So how good does that look? Gone with the Monster Energy decals on the front and a carbon roof. Switched out some of these bigger stickers for proper motorsport branded stickers. Bit more vinyl on the back here. Bit of vinyl on these air ducts. I've also got some grills inserted on the back there, as well as on the front, which just adds a bit of scale. And we've also added some extra lights at the front there, and also a couple of lights on the back. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Just connected the wire from the car into one of these Y-shaped connectors, which splits it off to the light bar, and the other one goes to the sets of lights front and back. Porsche 935. In the last update I mentioned two projects. The first one was the Golf Porsche, which was amazing, and I hope you've seen that. This is the second one that I mentioned, which is the Porsche 935, and there was much deliberation as to whether I do the Martini livery as supplied, but I really wanted to do a Jagermeister livery car, so that's what we've done, and it's almost complete. The reason that I haven't shown the full video, which is now complete, is because there was a lot of build time in this, and I don't want to turn the channel into a modelling channel, but I really wanted to make sure I went to town on this because it is a particularly special model to me to do. I had to build light buckets front and back. I had to build the wing because the wing that was supplied was just not up to scratch. And the hardest thing, which I have now done, if you watch this video in real time, live, is the rear, because if you remember, the rear was quite featureless, and the 935 has got a full 934 rear end underneath all the aero, and that's what's taken the time to create. But I wanted to do it properly, and I've managed to do it, and it's going to look amazing. And then as a last minute change, I decided that the best chassis to run it on really was the TT02, which I did for the Gulf Porsche, because it's got the shorter wheelbase, so it makes sense for the Porsche 911. And when I put it on a longer chassis, the proportions didn't look right, so this actually looks spot on. I've definitely caught the bug. Original Sand Scorcher, Rally Beetle, Blitzer Beetle, Monster Beetle, and hundreds of variations and custom builds. I've always wanted a Beetle in the collection, so I thought, in the same vein as the Sand Scorcher Rough Rider, why couldn't the BBX be a Beetle? So I've bought the classic Beetle shell, original Tamiya shell. Now I could use the BBX wheels and tyres that I've got, but I've also bought some spares which I've de-chromed and painted black, and added 4 tyres of the same if we go down the Blitzer Beetle style. An aluminium front crash bar from Endura, just to give it that desert racer style. And of course it has to have a cockpit, which is the original Sand Scorcher Baja driver. Also a full set of decals in the original Sand Scorcher style livery. And I think this is the hardest bit really, deciding. So I've got a tin of black. I've also got a tin of camel yellow. Some chrome parts specifically for the Beetle. A roof mounted bar of spot lamps. And some metal windscreen wipers which I've not used before and look like they need building, so that'll be interesting. You can see where I'm going with this. It's a toss up between a black murdered out Beetle or a Baja style desert racer in camel yellow. Lots going on. We've got the FTX Apache run video in the trails and forest, which is a great video. That's coming out this week. We've also got the Jagermeister build, which is long awaited. I think you'll really enjoy that if you like the Gulf Porsche build, and also the Beetle project, so stay tuned for that as well. Please continue to comment if there's anything in this particular video that you want to share. I'd love to hear from you, and please subscribe so you don't miss any of these upcoming videos, and thanks for watching. Bye.